MNTR Plus Sports welcomes you to the following broadcast of the American Arena League. As the Wheeling Miners take on the Columbus Lions to crown the 2026 AAL champion.
And we are live here from WesBanco Arena. It is the AAL Championship featuring the Wheeling Miners and the Columbus Lions. Good evening. We want to welcome you into the broadcast. I'm Chris Thoburn alongside of Jeffrey Blumenauer. Jeff, we knew it pretty much that these two teams were going to be on a collision course for this AAL Championship. It didn't come easy for either team, but they are here and they are ready to do battle here at WesBanco Arena tonight.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's followed the league all year long, as soon as both these teams announced they were going to AAL, pretty much you could have set in stone right then and there, this is going to be your championship game.
The Wheeling Miners got here by defeating the Jersey Bearcats, and the Columbus Lions got here by defeating the Mississippi Wolfpack. The Lions come in at 10-0 on the regular season. The Miners coming in at 7-2. Jeff, the only two blemishes on the record for the Wheeling Miners have come to this very good Columbus Lions team, but only by 2 points down at the Columbus Civic Center and by 1 point the last time these two squads locked up here at WesBanco Arena.
And both teams have had a shot at the end of the game. The Miners both times tried to put the ball in the end zone and get that final point, but unfortunately did not go their way. Looking for revenge, and man, we said it a ton of times in old adages in sports. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Absolutely, and you saw the hugs there from quarterback Blaine Espinosa, who will lead the Columbus Lions, and then Daryl Clark, who will lead the Wheeling Miners. Two very veteran quarterbacks here, and a lot of experience out there on the field for both of these squads.
Absolutely, and I mean, we've talked about it many of times. Coach Mack won a championship with these very Columbus Lions. So did captain number 3, Alex Coleman.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys on this team. He also had guys like Rainius Daramola that had some time down there. Myron Mounds had some time. So these are two teams that know each other very well. I mentioned all the way back in the AAL2 championship game, Mikkel Yancey. He was here playing for the Peach State Cats, rather, and now he has an opportunity here with the Columbus Lions to try to win a championship here in WesBanco Arena tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where the feeder systems work. That's why they're there, and what a great feeder system the Columbus Lions have. Congratulations to the Peach State Cats winning the AAL2 championship earlier this afternoon.
Absolutely, indeed. And Jeff, both these teams, like I said, points are going to be aplenty tonight. Both these teams have high-flying offenses. As we're looking down at the coin toss right now, we have both mascots out there, too. We have Leo from Columbus, and then, of course, Cole from the Miners. So Columbus has won the toss, and they have chose to defer. The Miners will get things started here. Wearing the cancer jerseys here tonight. They have the purple numbers with the black outline and the all-white jerseys and all-white pants. The Columbus Lions have the blue helmets, the blue jerseys with the silver trim, and the gray pants with the blue trim. So, Jeff, what is it going to take tonight for one of these teams to come away as the AAL champions?
Stops. I mean, your defense is going to have to make the stops in the prime time. Prime times at the end of the game and at the end of the half. You really got to control the tempo, keep the momentum on your side. That's a good way to start.
And both teams last time, they saw themselves both in close games at the half, talking about the playoffs, or talking about the first round in the playoffs between Jersey and Wheeling, and then Wheeling kind of ran away with it, and then Columbus was kind of in the same boat with Mississippi as well. They had a tight game in the first half and then ran away with it in the second half on their way here to the AAL championship game. Once again, Blaine Espinosa, the starting quarterback for the Columbus Lions. He is out of Thomas More. And then the starting quarterback for the Wheeling Miners, 6'5", 225-pound Daryl Clark, former Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year out of Penn State University. These two veterans getting ready to lead their teams out there tonight.
And for the Miners, you got to strike fast. Sometimes in most games, especially against Columbus, they kind of stall out on that first drive. They need to punch a score in here quickly, set the tone of this championship game. And if you're Columbus, make a stop.
Braden Wood set to kick off out here for Columbus. Back deep for the Miners is the former Lion, Rainius Daramola, out of Hobart and Mary Hardin Baylor, as we are getting set to get this AAL championship game underway. With Daramola back deep. To begin here, nice crowd here on hand for in West Banco Arena. Both teams well represented here tonight, the Columbus Lions and the Wheeling Miners. And Wood tees this one up, and we're ready for the AAL championship game as Rainius Daramola gets it back at the 15, gets upended at the 20, and then will be brought down at the 20-yard line. Making the stop down there for Columbus was Cameron Bergeron. He was somebody that wasn't in the last game between these two squads, but makes his presence felt here right away for the Columbus Lions, and the Miners will start on their own 20-yard line.
Very impressive by Daramola, taking the big hit, but covering up with both hands and securing the football.
So Miners will start. Deshaun Jackson in the backfield. 6'4", 330-pounder out of William Patterson. Wearing number 75 here tonight. Alex Coleman, the former Lion, over with Rainius Daramola in the Twins formation. Andre Thomas Cobb, who has won an AAL2 championship in this building with the Miners. He is your motion man down there, is the Western Kentucky product. Clark back to pass, looking. Yancey is going to wrap him up, and Clark is going to be taken down right away. And the former Peach State Cat, Mikael Yancey, coming in with the big sack and setting the tone at the start of this game for Columbus.
What a way to get in there was Yancey all over Daryl Clark. Clark didn't see it on the backside, but great job of Clark realizing the pressure there and holding up on the football.
The Miners were looking to go deep on that first drive. They were looking for Thomas Cobb, but picture-perfect coverage there by Columbus. Jakari Thomas, he had an interception in the first game between these two teams, the Vanderbilt product. Also, Janoris Wardlow, the University of Charleston product, and the arena veteran Droel Green out there for Columbus. Here goes Alex Coleman in motion, and Clark's going to throw behind him. Pass falls incomplete as once again Thomas was all over Coleman, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Miners. Not the kind of start you wanted if you were Wheeling.
No, absolutely not. Unfortunately, Clark's pass way behind a wide open Alex Coleman there. They definitely would like to have that one back.
3rd down and 11. Ball is on the Miners' 19-yard line. Clock striking at 13:08 and counting. No score as Columbus once again won the toss and they deferred to the second half. Deshaun Jackson is in the backfield. Johnson, rather, the sidecar off to the left here of Daryl Clark. Trips over to the far side. AC Coleman, your motion man for Wheeling. Clark back to pass, looking, gets it over to the near side to Daramola, who breaks a few tackles, and then his forward progress will be stopped at the 23-yard line, but we have a flag immediately on the play right after the snap. 12:40 to go here in the first quarter, no score. Get the call here from the White Hat. It looks like it might be an illegal defense call against Columbus. Here's the call from the official. So they're going to call it on number 16, DeCoven Ware, the linebacker out of Delta State, on the outside blitz. So that'll negate the play. The ball will be placed at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 6 upcoming for the Miners on their own 24. Coleman and Daramola, your far side receivers. Andre Thomas Cobb here on the near side. Johnson, the sidecar, off to the left of Daryl Clark as he's going to send Thomas Cobb in motion for Wheeling. Here's the snap. Clark back to pass, looking across the middle, looking for Andre Thomas Cobb, and the pass was broken up on the play. In on the coverage there was Denoris Woodlow, knocked it out of Andre Thomas Cobb's hands, and that'll bring up a 4th down for the Miners. It was a good route, but Wardlow was able to read Thomas Cobb the entire way. 11:53 and counting here in the first quarter. 4th down and 6 upcoming for the Miners. Ball is on their own 24-yard line. Thomas Cobb will be the stationary receiver on the near side. Over on the far side, Rainius Daramola. Alex Coleman, rather, your motion man for Wheeling. Johnson, the sidecar off to the left. Clark back to pass, gets it over to Coleman, who makes the catch. Coleman still on his feet, and he will be brought down inside the 5-yard line. So Alex Coleman making a beautiful catch in front of the defender, and he has the Miners first down to the 5-yard line.
What determination there by Alex Coleman catching the ball. What a great ball there by Darrell Clark. A runner's ball right out in front of him so he could keep going down the field after he caught it. Fought off the contact and fought for extra yards. What a play by Alex Coleman.
Gets brought down there at the 5-yard line, bringing up first down and goal from the 5 for Wheeling. Johnson will be the sidecar off to the right of Darrell Clark. Twins here to the near side, Alex Coleman and Rainius Daramula. Your motion man, Andre Thomas Cobb for Wheeling. Comes over to the near side. Clark breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Miners. But we have a flag on the play, so we'll see if this one's coming back or not. So it's an illegal motion against the Miners. So that's going to bring it back to the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and goal from the 10 for Wheeling. They tried to have some smoke and mirrors there with Andre Thomas Cobb in motion, but it was an illegal shift as they were sending Clark to the outside the entire time.
Unfortunate play there for the Miners. Takes off the touchdown there, so they're going to have to reset, try it again.
Johnson this time will be the sidecar off to the left of Darrell Clark. Trips here on the near side. Coleman is your motion man for Wheeling. Thomas Cobb and Daramula also here on the near side. There goes Coleman in motion. Clark, plenty of time, looking. Ball comes out. Touchdown, Miners! Alex Coleman with a slant route up the middle, and the Miners are on the board. It's 6-0.
What a ball there by Darrell Clark. Great catch by Alex Coleman, and then fights his way into the end zone for the score. Great sure-handed catch there by Coleman. Caught it at its highest point and finds his way into the end zone for the opening score.
The Miners are without the services of kicker Austin Nestor tonight as he was a little bit banged up. So it'll rely on the Central Valley High School product in A.J. Bowen. Has a championship in the WIF with the Pittsburgh Outlaws. This will be out of the A.C. Coleman hold. Here's the snap. It's down, and his kick is up, and we'll split the uprights, and good. 9:17 to go here in the first quarter. Wheeling takes a 7-0 lead over Columbus. You're listening to the AAL Championship.
We made an extra point.
After the 10-yard touchdown strike from Darrell Clark to Alex Coleman, and now the high-powered offense of the Columbus Lions will get their opportunity. Jacob Smith is back deep here for Columbus as he will look to get the kick here from Myron Mounds, who will be kicking off here for the Wheeling Miners. Mounds with the kick here. It's going to be a good one over into the corner, and Smith has it go between his legs, and he's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. So a great kick there by Mounds, and Jacob Smith is going to be down at the 11. So a great kick there. Who knew we had that out of Myron Mounds?
Hey, that's what you get out of those unorthodox kickers. Somebody who's not originally a kicker, you don't know where the ball is going to go. You got to turn it into a shortstop and go, okay, where's it going to go? One hop here, one hop there. So you really got to pay attention. So great job there by Mounds. Great job of the kicking game in general. Bowen kicking the extra point, Mounds kicking the kickoff. So good start here for the kicking game for the Miners, who we thought was going to be, what is it going to be?
Espinosa has Marco Lee, the sidecar off to his left, trips over to the far side. It's Fortson, Krettel, and also there in the backfield is Smith. Espinosa going to get it over to the former Florida State product in Fortson, who starts his way up the field, and he will be brought down at the 17-yard line. Gain on the play will bring up second down for Columbus.
Great read there by Javon Johnson, the first guy on the scene there, got just enough of the receiver, and then Munoz just cleans it up on the back end.
Pass to Fortson was complete up to the 18-yard line. Brings up second down and 3 for Columbus as they send trips here to the near side. Fortson, Smith, and Krettel back there for Columbus as Fortson is going to be your motion man. Here's the handoff to Marco Lee, the South Alabama product, and they will have the first down up to the 23-yard line. Does the former product in Marco Lee, the fullback out of South Alabama. Starting defense down there for the Miners. Brandon Munoz, the Wheeling University product. Dio DeSois, Division II Player of the Year out of Seton Hill. Raymond Cutts out of Troy. Javon Johnson, Cam Dixon are your linebackers. Isaiah Robinson, Myron Mounds, and JT Taylor are your defensive backs for Wheeling. As Smith goes in motion, we're going to have a flag on the play for a false start against the Lions. We knew Fortson was a speedster, but he got a little bit too quick of a start there. Did the Florida State product. That'll move it back to the 18-yard line.
Fortson, somebody who's playing his last career game here in Wheeling, trying to cap it off with a championship. Got to talk to Fortson last night at the AAL championship press conference. Great guy. I mean, made it even better for me that I got to talk to a former Florida State player. So this is a great time, but really spoke very highly, of his teammates and his coaching and what has got him here to this point.
And he will be replaced out there right now. Receiver over to the far side that we don't have on the roster. Back to pass is Espinosa. Looking. Espinosa tries to get out of trouble, but Raymond Cutts brings him down for a short gain on the play, and it'll bring up second down and 14 for the Lions. So Espinosa just not able to get out of there. I think it's obviously pointing at each other right now. So Marco Lee on the false start there for the Lions. And that'll move Columbus back inside the 15 to the 14. Bring up second down and long for Columbus. Clock strikes at 6 minutes here in the first quarter. Miners leading Columbus 7-0. Ball be on the 14-yard line. Officials started her count back there. Riverio, Smith, and Krettel are your receivers. Marco Lee, the sidecar off to the left of Espinosa as he sends his man in motion. Espinosa back to pass. Here comes the pressure from Wheeling. Espinosa looking downfield, and he's able to find Krettel, and Smith, and he will have the first down for Columbus to the 15-yard line. Great patience and blocking there by the Columbus Lions. Espinosa just stood there in the pocket and delivered it downfield to Jacob Smith.
Javon Johnson almost had it, tried to jump up and grab it, but just overthrown did Espinosa. Great job of dumping that ball in there.
Clock strikes under 5 minutes here. 7-0 Miners. Two receivers to the far side for Columbus. That's Riverio and Krettel here on the near side. Smith, Marco Lee, the sidecar off to the left of Espinosa. Espinosa, bullet pass across the middle. JT Taylor was unable to come up with that one as the pass falls incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Columbus.
JT Taylor trying to pick that one up off the turf. I don't think anybody has picked off Espinosa more this season than JT Taylor.
2 pick sixes does JT Taylor have against this Columbus Lions team. 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line for Columbus rather. Smith, the near side receiver, twins over to the far side. Krettel will be your motion man for Columbus. Marco Lee, the sidecar off to the right. Espinosa, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Espinosa is going to be hit as he released it, and the pass falls incomplete as JT Taylor had that coverage all over Jesse Riverio. We'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Wheeling. Ball beyond their own 15-yard line. The Miners getting the pressure now on Espinosa with 3:26 and counting here in the first quarter. They're going to move Munoz back to the MAC as Robert Garrett, the Central State product, will come in off to the left. Krettel, your motion man for Columbus. Smith is stationary here on the near side. Riverio over on the far side. Espinosa sends his man in motion. Espinosa's pass is way over the head. Of his intended receiver in Krettel. Pass falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. Bring up 4th down for Columbus. .248 and counting. Smith here on the near side, twins over on the far side. Riverio and Krettel. Lee is the running back there for Columbus. Espinosa back to pass, looking across the middle. It was a bullet pass. Pass falls incomplete. Myron Mounds, JT Taylor in on the coverage there on Krettel. So the Miners get a big defensive stop.
What a stop there by the Miners. All over the coverage there. Mounds getting in there just enough to break that one up. And that is a huge stop for the Miners defense.
Yeah, definitely a huge stop there for the Miners D. And the Miners offense coming back out here. We do have a challenge flag on the play. So it's a media timeout anyway, and they will go to the review booth. 2:24 to go here in the first quarter. Miners leaving 7-0 in the AAL championship game on MNTR Plus Sports Network. Seven to nothing in favor of the Miners. And Jeff, I mean, what a defensive stop there for Wheeling on that last drive to be able to slow down this high-powered offense of the Columbus Lions.
That's a huge boost to Wheeling. They get the first score of the game and now come out and make a huge stop on defense. We do have a challenge. I'm not sure what they are challenging, so the officials coming out with the official ruling.
See what the call is here from the White Hat. So will be replayed 4th down for an illegal defense call against Wheeling. So it'll be 4th down and 5 for Columbus. So a great challenge there by the Columbus coaching staff on the illegal defense call. Yeah, so once again, this should be 4th down and 5 upcoming for the Lions. From the 10-yard line. .224 remaining here in the first quarter. Miners leading 7-0. As they had to set up the original sticks there after the call. Ball be on the far side hash mark of the 10. Riverio, your far side stationary receiver. Krettel, stationary here on the near side. And Smith will be your motion man for Columbus. Espinosa, back to pass. Pass is complete to Krettel, but he is going to get hit hard again. And that time it was Robert Garrett. No, check that. It was Raymond Cutts in on the stop there, along with Javon Johnson.
Great defense there by Wheeling. Getting a second shot at it was Columbus, and no go for that one. So Espinosa just tried to put the ball in his playmaker's hands and try to get a first down there. Unfortunately, great stand by the Miners. And once again, a great start on offense and defense for the Wheeling Miners.
They tried to use the smoke and mirror over on the far side there with Riverio and Smith. The Miners didn't bite on it at all. Alex Coleman, your motion man. Rainius Daramola and Andre Thomas Cobb are your wide receivers for Wheeling. Johnson is the sidecar off to the left of Daryl Clark. Clark looking, launches one downfield, and that's going to go into the hands of one of the Columbus Lions fans who made a nice catch down there. But all over him in coverage is Takari Thomas. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 9-yard line. 1:11 to go here in the first quarter. Clark was just trying to take a shot on that last one as the pressure was coming. Looked off his initial receiver and then tried to go deep down to Coleman. Daramola will be your motion man for Wheeling. Looking across the middle, pass is complete to Daramola. Daramola makes a move, and he's going to take a hard hit there by Denoris Wardlow and the veteran Droel Green, and that'll be a first down for the Miners on the Lions' 21-yard line.
What a job by Daramola there, stopping mid-run, catching the football, securing it, and then working his way upfield.
Daramola, the former Columbus Lion, gets another reception here in this one. Andre Thomas Cobb, stationary over on the far side. Daramola here on the near side. Your motion man is Alex Coleman for Wheeling. Clark, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Clark looking downfield, almost intercepted there by Cameron Bergeron. Pass falls incomplete. And fans, that'll wrap up the first quarter of play here in the AAL Championship game. Wheeling leading Columbus 7-0. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network. 7-0 in favor of the Miners to open up the first quarter here of the AAL championship game. Chris Thoburn alongside of Jeffrey Blumenauer. It was a 10-yard touchdown strike from Daryl Clark to Alex Coleman that gives us the first score of the game. And then the Miners bend but don't break defense as they had to stop Columbus twice on a 4th down, one after an illegal defense call.
Yeah, Miners looking to set up here. Would love to punch one in here and take a huge early lead here.
Brings up 3rd down here for the Miners as Coleman goes in motion for Wheeling. Clark rolling out to his right, launches it downfield, and Daramola makes the circus catch, and he will have a 1st down for Wheeling down to the 6-yard line. Clark was under all kinds of pressure, let it go, just floated it up there, and Daramola won the 50-50 ball over Wardlow, and they are set up again in a and-goal situation, 1st and goal from the 6 for Wheeling.
Great job of bailing out his quarterback there is Daramola. Clark put it up and trusted Daramola to go up and get it, and that's exactly what he did.
Daramola and Coleman are your twins here to the near side. Andre Thomas Cobb will be your motion man over on the far side. Clark back in the shotgun formation. Clark going to keep it. Rolls out to his right. Here comes the pressure. Clark. And he gets inside the 5 and will be stopped inside the 5-yard line. Making the stop there for Columbus was McQuell Harvey. Harvey plays on both sides of the ball for Columbus. Gets the stop there on defense.
Getting closer to that goal line, it's Khalil Trotman time.
So here comes Trotman into the game now, the goal line specialist for Wheeling. Played last season with the Colorado Spartans in the NAL. He can also throw the ball too, don't forget that. Trips here to the near side for Wheeling. As coming in under center is Trotman. He's going to send Coleman in motion, but Columbus snuffed this one out the entire way. As coming in on that one was DeCoven Ware. And we're going to have a flag on the play too. So this one could benefit Wheeling. We'll see if it goes both ways or not. So that'll be an automatic 1st down for Wheeling. As Ware gets his first personal foul of the night, an unsportsmanlike penalty. So he's going to have to watch himself now for the rest of the game.
Good job of Trotman, too, realizing what happened, turning around and going right to the bench and not carrying anything else on. Good job, good recognition by Trotman.
Gives the Miners a 1st down and goal from the 4. Clock strikes under 13 minutes. Wheeling leading 7-0 over Columbus. Johnson is the sidecar off to Daryl Clark's left. Sending a man in motion. It's Daramola. Daramola, though, he is going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage. We're also going to have another flag on the play. As the clock stops at 12:45, it's going to be a false start against Wheeling. However, that will give the Miners a little bit more room. So it's an illegal formation against Wheeling. They'll try this again. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 9 for the Miners. A lot of size down there on that defensive line for Columbus. You have McQuell Harvey. And then you pretty much have the Twin Towers on the outside with Mikel Yancey and DeAndre Brown. Brown, the product of Southern Miss. And then Yancey, the former Peach State Cat. Coach Mack's going to want to call a timeout. We'll burn one with them. 12:19 to go here in the second quarter of the AAL championship game on MNTR Plus Sports Network. And we're back here in the AAL championship game. 12:19 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 in favor of Wheeling on their second drive of the game. Daryl Mola is stationary here on the near side. Alex Coleman, your motion man for Wheeling. Clark looking across the middle. I think he was throwing at the Tito sign on that one. Pass falls incomplete, and it'll bring up second down and goal from the 9 for the Miners.
Miscommunication there between Alex Coleman and Daryl Clark. AC keeps pointing to that other side and saying, hey, I wanted that side. Must have been a choice route. So Clark was thinking one thing, Coleman was thinking the other.
Brings up second down and 9 here. Coleman and Clark hooked up earlier on the slant route there for the first touchdown of this championship game. Stack formation on the near side. Coleman and Daramola. Andre Thomas Cobb is your motion man for Wheeling. Clark back to pass, gets it over to Coleman. Coleman tries to make a move, but he is going to be wrapped up there. It's hard to get out of the grasp of the veteran in Droel Green, the defensive back there for Columbus. Gain is up to the 6-yard line. Brings up third down and goal. Green, he has a few championships in a Columbus uniform. As Clark getting the call here from Coach Mack. Ball will be on that far side hash mark. It's almost about the 5.5-yard line. Not quite on the 6, not quite on the 5. Stack formation to the far side now. That's Coleman and Daramola. Andre Thomas Cobb will be your motion man for Wheeling. Clark back to pass, looks off his initial receiver and just throws this one off the wall, incomplete. He wanted Thomas Cobb on that slant route, but it was covered up completely by the Jack linebacker and also Denoris Wardlow, the University of Charleston product.
It's exactly who he's looking for. The very tall receiver in Andrew Thomas Cobb, trying to put it up where he can go up and get it. But unfortunately, great coverage there for the Columbus Lions.
Great job. I think it was Bergeron was the Jack that dropped back into coverage on that as soon as he recognized that Andre Thomas Cobb was coming across the middle. Clock strikes at 10 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Andre Thomas Cobb, Daramola over on the far side in this trips formation as Alex Coleman will be the motion man for Wheeling. Johnson, the sidecar off to the right of Daryl Clark. Clark dropping back to pass, looking, has Daramola in the end zone. Touchdown Miners. However, Clark took a massive hit right after throwing that touchdown pass, but he's able to get up on his own power, and the Miners now take a 13-0 lead.
What a route there by Daramola. Stayed alive, kept moving in the end zone to give Daryl Clark a target for the score.
A.J. Bowen in to attempt the extra point. This will be out of the Alex Coleman hold. Brandon Munoz is your long snapper. Here's the snap from Moon. It's a good one. And Bowen will split the uprights and good. 9:02 to go in the second quarter. The Miners take a 14-0 lead over Columbus in the AAL championship game on MNTR Plus Sports Network.
We're making field goals.
14-0 in favor of the Miners as Myron Mounds set to kick this one off. He had a great kick earlier. Jacob Smith was not able to catch it cleanly and basically had to take a knee at the 11-yard line. Here's the kick from Mounds. It's another good one, and Smith is going to receive it back at the 5. Smith looking for some room to the outside. He finds it, and we have multiple flags on the play as Khalil Trotman was definitely held on that one. So this one's going to come back even further for Columbus.
That's somebody that you really love to have on your roster. Yes, he's listed as a backup quarterback, but he can do everything. He's there on the kickoff return, kickoff team, and also punches it into the end zone when he needs to, so he can play everywhere, and that's just a great weapon to have.
Yeah, we've seen him in practice a few times at the wide receiver position too. Technically, I have 3 quarterbacks on this Miners team with JT Taylor as well. See how the Miners defense is going to set up here. It's going to be Cuts, Dessois, and Munoz down on the line. Dixon will be your Mac. Javon Johnson, your Jack. Isaiah Robinson, JT Taylor, and Myron Mounds, your defensive backs for Wheeling. Robinson is going to have the coverage on Fortson. Smith will be the motion man. Here's the pass is complete out to Jermon Fortson, who stays on his feet, but will be knocked into the wall just over the 16-yard line, and that'll bring up a second down for Columbus. They haven't really tried a deep shot yet to Fortson, but that's his 3rd catch there on those wide receiver quick routes.
Yeah, he's been a possession receiver for them early in this one, but we've known Fortson for a long time. He can still burn and go downfield, so look for that deep shot. Columbus is one of those offenses, they like to dink and dunk early and then throw it over the top.
So Fortson will be in the trips formation over on the far side with Smith and Krettel. Marco Lee, the sidecar off to the right here for Columbus. Here's the handoff to Lee, trying to get it to the outside, and he can't, as Dio Dessois and Cam Dixon, also Javon Johnson, all 3 in on that stop for Wheeling. Short gain on the play for the South Alabama product, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for Columbus. Munoz in a good battle there here on the far side. Tariq Stewart, the North Carolina A&T product, another veteran of the arena game. 7:15 and counting. 14-0 in favor of Wheeling. They get an early lead here in the AAL championship game. Stack formation here to the near side. Fortson is going to be your motion man for Columbus. Here's the pass out there. Smith never caught it cleanly. It's going to be an incomplete pass, as he never caught that one cleanly. He was bobbling it the whole way, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 2 now for the Lions.
There's the challenge flag. Coach Mont was telling Coach Mack, throw it. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth a shot here to get a possession.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know, though, Jeff. I don't think Smith had full control of that ball. He was definitely bobbling it. He made a football move, though, so that's the big question. 6:43 and counting here. The Miners just coming out on fire here in the beginning of this game.
Absolutely. It's just been craziness, and, great job here by the Miners trying to get a possession here like we talked about. Try to get a challenge in there and see if it's successful.
Yeah, it really has indeed. So 6:43 to go here in this one. The Miners have a 14-0 lead, and we'll head to the challenge here. You're listening to the AAL Championship game on MNTR Plus Sports Network. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So the ruling on the field is upheld on that one, but not a bad call there for Coach Mott. They're up by 14 right now and could have had a potential turnover there.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. I mean, it's an early challenge. You do lose the timeout, but being up 14-0, and that would be a heck of a position to get the ball at. So, I mean, great challenge by a veteran coach in Coach Mont, who's somebody who's been around the block a few times, playing in the many arena leagues around.
And I think that was the thing there, too. I think his argument was that Smith made a football move, but
right.
I don't feel that Smith had full possession of it.
Well, as a defensive coach, that is always the case. He made a football move, regardless if it's a half a step, a quarter step, doesn't matter. He still tried to make a football move.
Smith is your motion man for Columbus. Lou Espinosa has him downfield, and the pass falls incomplete as Myron Mounds escorts him into the stands. But a great effort there by Jacob Smith. But now the Miners will have possession inside Columbus territory at the 19-yard line with 6:31 and counting here in the second quarter.
That was an us or nobody ball there by Espinoza, putting it up where only his receiver could get it. The receiver couldn't get it. Nobody was getting it. So good decision there by Espinoza, but does not pay off. Unfortunately landed in the nice sea of Columbus fans over there. Great job by Columbus bringing 3 busfuls of fans to add to this championship atmosphere.
Yeah, we want to welcome all fans in here from the Wheeling Miners and the Columbus Lions as well. We really appreciate the Lions fans making the trip up here to Wheeling, and we hope you get that Wheeling feeling while you're up here and have that hospitality here from the Miners faithful. Andy Plowden is your running back now for Wheeling as Andre Thomas Cobb goes in motion. Clark back to pass, almost was tripped up on the play, and Clark will be brought down inside the 15-yard line, and it'll bring up second down for Wheeling as DeCoven Ware was the one that hit Clark down low and made the stop for Columbus as the clock strikes under 6 minutes. Miners leading 14-0 in this one, third drive of the game. It was 2 touchdown strikes, one to Alex Coleman and one to Rainius Daramola. Andre Thomas Cobb, the stationary receiver here on the near side. 2 receivers over to the far side. That's Daramola and Coleman. Here goes Andy Plowden on the run. Michael Yancey is going to be the first one to wrap him up, and then Yancey will escort him to the turf. Short gain on the play. It'll bring up third down and a long 3 for the Miners.
If you're Wheeling, you need to punch this one in here. It'd be a great thing to go up by 3 scores here. And, we're about 6 minutes out of the half, 5 minutes actually. Columbus does get the ball at halftime, so you definitely want to try to put as many points up on the board as you can if you're Wheeling, because knowing that Columbus does get the ball at half.
Declared tight end over to the far side. That's going to be Shamil Roberts. Clark has plowed in the sidecar off to the right and trips here to the near side. Clark going to fake it to Daramola. Clark going forward. We had a helmet or something that just absolutely shattered down there on the field. I have no idea. Something just absolutely shattered down on the field. It's going to be 4th down and short. I think it had to do something with Darrell Clark's helmet. Going to bring in Khalil Trotman now.
Not sure what that was, but they got it cleaned up very quickly, so good job by the officials.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, it's definitely something with Darrell Clark's helmet. We're going to have an official timeout. They're checking something on one of the Columbus Lions players. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, so that was crazy because we had something shatter down there on the field first.
Nonetheless, here we go.
So it's 4th down and short for Wheeling as they bring in Khalil Trotman. And there's the push from Plowden. And Trotman is going to have the first down with the forward progress. Now we're going to have multiple flags again.
Come on, Cleo.
And now we're going to get the flag on Trotman, so we're going to have to replay fourth down again. So I don't know if the first down's going to stand here or not. So we're going to have offsetting penalties. This all happens with 4:06 to go in the second quarter. Here comes the call from the official. Okay, so they picked up the flag on Trotman. They're going to bring him back into the game. So it is a first down and goal for the Miners. And that was Decovin Ware's second personal foul, but not of the unsportsmanlike variety. So this will be first and goal from the 3.5 yard line, if you will. Andy Plowden, the sidecar, off to the left of Khalil Trotman. There goes Coleman in motion. Trotman going to get it, trying to go right up the middle, but he is going to be stood up for a short loss on the play. I think that was DeAndre Brown leading the charge there for Columbus. So it'll be a loss of 1.5 yards, and it'll bring up second down and goal from the 5. Miners going to make a few personnel changes here. They're going to take Plowden out and move Deshaun Johnson, the arena veteran, into the backfield.
Somebody who's very comfortable carrying the football if he has to, but a nice blocker there in the backfield for Derek Clark.
6'4", 330 pounds, rather, is Deshaun Johnson, the William Patterson product. Clark going to send Coleman in motion. Here's the pitch out to Johnson, but it goes nowhere, as now he was just protecting the football. But I tell you what, that run game, I don't think it's going to work for the Miners here tonight. Columbus is snuffing that out the entire way.
Absolutely. Just got to keep throwing the ball. It's working for him. But, I mean, I give him the effort. Definitely. I mean, we've talked about it a ton of times. Once you get down here in the red zone area, it is harder. The playbook shrinks up a little bit, so it is harder to, get some space down there in the short space that is in between the boards.
With the ball moving back to the 9, that's like you mentioned, Jeff. The nice thing is here, the Miners are going to have a little bit more room to deal with. So third down and goal. Stack formation here on the near side. That's Coleman and Daramola. Andre Thomas Cobb, your motion man for Wheeling. Thomas Cobb goes in motion. Here comes Darrell Clark back. Clark rolling out to his left. Tries to hit Thomas Cobb over into the end zone. And I tell you what, he had to play a little bit of defense there, as Wardlow had a blanket over him. Almost had that interception, but Thomas Cobb knocking that ball away so it didn't get picked.
Yeah, he had to flip positions very quickly there, and a great job of doing it is Thomas Cobb.
Yeah, Andre Thomas Cobb, another arena veteran. Played on the 2024 championship team here in Wheeling. Clock striking at 1:31 and counting. So a big fourth down coming up for both these squads. The Miners leading 14-0. Going to try to get this in a good position to get a pass off. This line is definitely going to have to hold their blocks. Nelson is your declared tight end. Johnson is the sidecar off to the left of Clark. Here comes the pressure. Clark rolling out to his right. Clark tries to launch one back into no man's land, and it's going to be intercepted on the play. We do have a flag, though. See what the call would be. So on the interception there was Cameron Bergeron, another veteran for Columbus. Says legal formation against Wheeling. Penalty will be declined. So Bergeron making a big difference here in this game from that jack linebacker position. This is the 1 minute warning. But Jeff, I don't think any harm, no foul as of right now. but the Miners are really going to have to hold Columbus here in this last 1 minute, 57 seconds.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Chris. Miners are up by 14 points. You know what that means. Gold ball is in play.
So a great call there by Columbus to bring the gold ball in play. So once again, it is double the points. And Columbus could try to tie this one up heading into the half. As Blaine Espinosa will be set to come back in here. Riverio will be one of his receivers, as will Krettel. Marco Lee is the sidecar off to the left, and Jacob Smith will be the other receiver. So Riverio, Smith, and Krettel be your receivers down there for Columbus. Robert Garrett, Raymond Cutts, and Dio Dessoir are your down linemen. Munoz will be in the MAC linebacker position. Espinosa back to pass, looking over, pass is complete to Krettel, and Krettel will take this one out of bounds at midfield up to the 24, and that'll be a first down for Columbus, and another smart arena play there by Krettel to put that ball over and go out of bounds.
Yeah, stop the clock. He knows what he was doing there. Great read by Espinosa. Seeing Krettel there wide open, hits him, and they get the first down and edge closer to the end zone.
They're going to sub out Riverio here. Jamon Fortson into the game for Columbus. 53 seconds remaining here in the half. But the goal ball is in play, and Columbus can try to tie this one up. Twins over to the far side. One receiver here to the near side. That's Fortson, who's going to be your motion man for Columbus. Espinosa, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. It was almost intercepted there again by J.T. Taylor. But they're going to call Munoz for roughing the passer here. So a great job there by Taylor. Call from the official. So Munoz is going to get called for roughing the passer. That's going to move Columbus even closer here to the 14-yard line. First down and 10 for the Lions, as they got something moving here on this drive after the interception by Cameron Bergeron. The first down goal from the 14. One receiver over to the far side. That's Krettel. Espinosa going to send Fortson in motion. Pass is incomplete for Krettel. Thought originally it was a backwards pass, but it falls incomplete. And that'll bring up second down and 10 for Columbus. Krettel, Jeff, he tried to run with that ball before he could catch it.
Yeah, he seen the defenders in front of him and tried to put his foot in the ground and go upfield, but didn't secure the catch first.
That brings up a second down and 10 for Columbus. 45.4 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 14-0 in favor of the Miners. But don't forget, folks, the goal ball is in play. Garrett, Dessoir, and Cutts, your down linemen. Taylor, Robinson, and Mounds are your defensive backs. Javon Johnson, the jack. Brandon Munoz, the back. Espinosa, back to pass, gets it over to Krettel, and he will be brought down at the 11-yard line after a short gain. And Columbus is going to want to burn a timeout. We'll burn one with them. 39 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 14-0 Miners. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network. And welcome back here. Third down upcoming for Columbus. Fortson will be the near side receiver. Credle and Smith over on the far side.
Remember, it has to be a pass, cannot be a running touchdown to collect the double points.
Credle, or check that, Espinosa. Back to pass, has a man wide open in the end zone, and Smith has the touchdown, and that is double the points there for Columbus. So it is now a 14-12 game. So wide open was Jacob Smith there in the end zone. And now they are going to set up for the extra point as Columbus has turned this one around with that gold ball. And to attempt the extra point is Braden Wood. Now the backup quarterback, Michael Hill's hold. Comes the snap here. It's a high one. Kick is up, and it'll split the uprights and good. So Columbus has tied this one up at 14 with 29.6 seconds to go here at the half, Jeff. So the goal ball making all the difference right there with Jacob Smith's touchdown reception.
Yeah, I mean, great job there by Espinosa, realizing the coverage. Once again, great job by his offensive line, too, as well, giving him enough time to survey in the pocket, step up, slide over, and fire a touchdown score.
And the momentum is completely changed here in this one. As the Miners, with about a minute to go, they had a 14-0 lead and now find themselves all tied at 14, and Columbus will get the ball back at the half.
Yeah, big turnaround for the Lions. Miners were in striking distance again to try to put up another score, and great stop by Columbus. They turn it around, insert the gold ball, and make it a tie game. So back to zeros, if you would.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you expect in a championship game. As they are set to kick this one off, Rainius Daramola back deep for Wheeling. As Wood set to kick this one off again, he'll kick off that gold ball. Columbus making sure they have all 8 guys out there right now.
Not sure why the gold ball is still in play. Should have been switched out, but nonetheless.
I was going to say, an Uno can't count as a deuce, can it? Yeah, still trying to learn all the rules there with the gold ball.
Yeah, something new incorporated for this season. Exciting, and it pays off here in the championship game.
Wood ready to kick off here for Columbus. Daramola back deep. It's going to be a deep kick, and this one is going to bounce. And Daramola gets it picked up there. But whoa, why on earth would he throw that one backwards? Yeah, so not a smart play there by Rainius Daramola. And now Columbus has taken the lead. On a safety there. So officials have to come together to see how many points this actually will be. They come together there for the discussion. So it is the 2-point safety there. So the ball will be placed at the 5-yard line. And it is a 16-point swing here as Columbus takes the lead.
What a turn of events here in the past minute and a half.
So Isaiah Robinson into the game now as well.
Columbus gets the ball back here on this kickoff from the safety.
They do. So Myron Mounds has this one teed up again. So I have another player trotting out onto the field here for Wheeling. That's Javon Johnson. And Myron Mounds set to kick this one off, and Columbus has another opportunity to try to strike here. With 24.5 seconds to go. Jacob Smith back deep for Columbus. As you can hear the Columbus faithful getting into this one, as they now have a 2-point lead. There's Myron Mounds with the kick. It's going to be a high one. It's going to bounce. And they're going to say that it was out of bounds, though, on top of the boards. It'll bounce out there at about the 15. The officials are coming together with 23.6 seconds. Both teams pointing in the direction that it's their ball. But as of right now, the Miners,
that's a live ball on top of the board. So until it hits, it's 100% live. So that's what they're discussing right now.
Comes the call from the official. So that is recovered by the Miners. So another big turn of events here. Yeah, I think they're going to bring out the challenge flag again.
I was going to say, yeah, that was pretty quickly. I knew that was coming, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a bang bang call there, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see if the challenge flag comes out. But nonetheless, as of right now, so they are going to see if they are going to review this. So we'll go ahead and step aside here. 24.6 seconds to go here on the review. 16-14 Columbus in the AAL championship game on MMTR Plus Sports Network. Oh, yeah. So after the review there, it will be Miners football. Man, what a change in turn of events this is. You had the goal ball in play and then a safety, and then the Miners get the ball back on the 17. Here goes Alex Coleman in motion for Wheeling. Clark back to pass. Here goes Clark still on his feet, makes a move, gets to the outside. He's into the end zone. Touchdown Miners! But we have a flag on the play. And it's an illegal defense against Columbus. So that'll hold for the touchdown. And the Miners take a 20-16 lead. As we're joined here, former O-lineman and defensive lineman Joel Zellum up here into the crowd. But the Miners get one on the board here. A.J. Bowen in to attempt the extra point. This will be out of the Alex Coleman hold. Bowen 2 for 2. This one is going to go off to the left and no good, but no harm, no foul. As after the Miners gave up a touchdown and a safety on the gold ball, they now have a 20-6 lead, Jeff. Arena football.
Welcome to it, man. I mean, what an enjoyable last 3 minutes we've been in. It's just been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, this was a 7-0 game there for the longest time. But the Miners and Columbus right now, I mean, that gold ball just changing everything here in the latter minutes of the second quarter.
And then you, like I said, you had the ball rolling around on the top of the boards. I mean, got to go to the whistle blows, and that's exactly what the Miners did and got the ball back and then pay it off in the end zone. What a start. I mean, this is an unbelievable half, and we got another one coming up. So
absolutely
just a great game. Like we said, we knew both these teams were going to be in the championship. This is the top two teams that everybody had on their bingo cards going into this year.
And that was the thing, too. I mean, you go all the way back to the NAL days. There was close games with these guys.
Yeah.
And now you had a 2-point game and a 1-point game earlier this year. You knew this championship game, it was going to take every second of these games.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said, this is going to be unbelievable. You got 17.7 seconds left here in the half. Columbus going to receive the ball, but pivotal again. Columbus does get the ball at halftime.
Yeah, so the Miners are going to they're going to want to make a big stop here as Myron Mounds with another kick. This one is not going to lay on top of the boards, and making the tackle for Columbus is Jacob Smith on his own teammate and Jesse Riverio.
Unbelievable. At this point, I don't expect anything less, Chris.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, we had a big man touchdown in the AAL2 championship game. Of course, what did we have? What was there? Like 3 or 4 pick sixes also in that game.
And a rouge as well. So,
yeah,
I mean, just sprinkle that on there as well.
15.7 seconds to go. You know, Columbus, I mean, they got a good kicker in Wood, too, to potentially try to make this a 1-point game.
Columbus probably looking to take a shot here. This is your shot play right here, right now. See what you have. Fortson down here at the bottom. Keep an eye on him.
And then you have Krettel, the playmaker. He's going to be your motion man for Columbus. Espinosa, though, he's going to throw this one to the ground. Yeah, don't even ask for the roughing the call passer there. 12.3 seconds to go here. As Cutts was just finishing his tackle on Espinosa.
And trying to help him up at that.
Yeah, the whistle didn't even blow, so I don't want to hear it there. Ball is on the 17, brings up 2nd down and 10. As the pressure was coming from the outside there, Raymond Cutts. Garrett and Dessois also in the middle, 12.3 seconds to go. Munoz and Johnson are your linebackers. JT Taylor, Isaiah Robinson, and Myron Mounds, your defensive backs. Krettel, the motion man. Here goes Espinosa, back to pass. He's going to launch one down the field. It's intercepted by Isaiah Robinson. And don't forget, he's a former wide receiver, so he definitely has some moves, and he will be brought down. But that is how we're going to wrap up the first quarter of play. First half of play, rather, and the Miners a 20-16 lead, a game that at one point was 14-0 with about 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Unbelievable events happening here at Westbanco Arena, and the Miners take the lead into the half off of what would be a whirlwind of 3 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about the arena game. It is absolutely crazy, and this is what we come to expect here in the championship. The Miners leading 20-16. What else can you say about this first half?
Unbelievable. Great start for the Miners, putting points on the board, and then Columbus capitalizing on the gold ball. Just great to see. That's the first one we've seen be successful here at Westbanco Arena. So just a great whirlwind of a first half and even set up better for a second one.
And I'll tell you what here, how about Daryl Clark and the play that he's made? He's got it done on his feet. He's also got it done through the air. 2 touchdown passes, one to Alex Coleman and another to Rainius Daramola.
Yeah, and great passes. Those have been both at the point where the receiver can take care of them. Great job by Daramola down here in the end zone, shielding off the defender and completing the catch and making sure he can hold on to the football after the hit.
Now, well, how about the Miners defense, though, as well? I mean, they only gave up the 1 touchdown. Yeah, there's 16 points on the opposing side of the scoreboard, but they've only given up the 1 touchdown on this high-powered offense of Columbus.
Yeah, and Espinoza has had no time at all. He is not comfortable back here in the pocket, and that is due to the defensive line of the Miners between Cutts and Munoz. They've been on him every single play, and they got to continue to do that here in the second half.
Absolutely indeed. So second half action will be coming your way next. The Miners leading 20-16 over Columbus. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network.
And DJ Sugar D, 95 South. Let's do it. Come on, here we go. Let's be ready, okay, even though I'm from Columbus, I was born in Columbus. No, City family tonight, though. Let's do this. Let me see it. Let's do it.
Before I got into broadcasting, that's why I always use my hands.
You know what? I just want to let them know. I just want to let y'all know that the words to that song is cotton candy, sweetie gold. Not sweet as gold, it's sweetie gold. Let me see that Tuesday road. I should know I wrote it, okay? Well, we would have given the one that put us on back in 1993, and y'all get ready to ride that with us. Yo, when I say 95, you say style, 95, 95. When I say 95, you say style, 95, 95. Let's do it, sugar.
Excuse me, Shaggy, do you know where I can find some booty?
I mean, please.
Whoever hey, Daddy Black, whoever said West Virginia can't get crunk, they lied, because y'all can get crunk, believe that. I want to send a shout out to the dancers, to the amazing dancers that came out to support us tonight. Y'all give them a round of applause. And also, thank you, Mr. Tuffy, for bringing 95 South. Thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure. But before we go, Mike, you wrote this record, right? Okay, I wrote this record. I need everybody in here. I need y'all to put your hands up like this. Everybody put your hands up like this. Everybody, come on. Put your hands up like this. We ready? Let's do it. I wrote this song back in 96. Turn it up. Turn it up. still got love for watching love with people though.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real
Minor Station.
welcome to the spaceship. Station hands at the
DJ Sugar D. Come on. 95 Sound. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for 95 Sound. We're going to welcome to the field now your Lady Miners dance team. And as they get prepared, they're going to do their halftime show for you.
Five, six, 7, 8.
Be right back.
Alrighty, Miners Nation, Miners Mix Bingo. Want you to pull out your cards for our 15th song. Hey, go ahead. This is Semi-Charmed Life. Third outline. Your 16th song of Miners Mix Music Bingo. Oasis, Wonderwall. Oasis, Wonderwall.
By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, on the street, and the fire in your eyes. I'm sure that the first you never really had.
I was literally eating it like during the war when he said that. And, oh my God, I thought it was so sad. He said
We got 2 more songs and then the game's going to be over. Here is your 17th song. It's lights out. Keep on concert. Ready to sing this. This is Even Flow. My cocktail. Even Flow. My program.
honestly, we want to make the most money that they can get for there's no cost, nobody gets it. Or if somehow somebody didn't make it happen, ask the volunteer. That's all. I've been
This is going to be our last and final song of Miners Mix Music Bingo 90s Night Edition. This is your 18th song. And well, you just heard it live. Hey, there you go. Tootsie Roll. That is your 18th song. Folks, if you pay attention to the top of your cards, there are numbers. We had 10 winners tonight. Go to the merchandise booth and you can win yourself a t-shirt with one side for you. Here are our winning numbers on those bingo cards. Number 84, number 180, number 192, number 249, number 266, number 269, number 276. Number 278, number 292, and number 404. Once again, winning card IDs 84, 84, 180, 180, 192, 192, 249, 249, 266, 266. 269, 276, 276, 278, 278, 292, 292,
Back inside the AAL championship game here, 20-16 in favor of the Miners. Jeff, we were treated to such a great first half. What are we expecting here in the second half?
Boy, what a great first half, and then the halftime show as well from 95 South as well. So great, keeping the vibes going here at halftime. Just a set up for a great half and a great ending in this championship game.
Yeah, I mean, 95 South, that was somebody that I grew up with, listening to a lot of those songs and everything. I'm an 80s baby, though, but, really enjoyed that. And, I mean, I tell you what, just the whole atmosphere here has just been absolutely crazy. But if you're the Miners, how crucial is this first stop here on the first drive for Columbus?
I mean, it's huge. It's really going to set the tone. It's going to set the momentum for the rest of the game. If you're willing, you come out, you make the stop, and then you want to drive back down the field and put a score in again. Columbus, on the flip side of that, obviously you want them to go down and you want to score a touchdown, put some points on the board. We talk about it. We've seen it in the first half. That gold ball really came up huge for the Columbus Lions.
I mean, you had back-to-back touchdown passes from Darryl Clark. He hit Alex Coleman, hit Rainius Daramola, and then the touchdown from Blaine Espinosa to Jacob Smith on the gold ball. On the ensuing kickoff, Columbus gets a safety, but then on the ensuing kickoff after that, after the safety, the Miners recover it and then get one into the end zone again.
Yeah, and then get a big interception at the end of the half. Doesn't really do anything. I mean, Espinosa was looking for the end zone. Great job by Isaiah Robinson to get down there and get the interception, but it gets a little bit of momentum going forward, and that lets Espinosa know, hey, Robinson's a threat back there. Watch when you throw it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a converted wide receiver playing defensive back down there is Isaiah Robinson, the former West Liberty University product. Byron Mounds is going to kick this one off. It'll be Jesse Riverio on the return, and he'll get it back into Miners territory at the 22-yard line. First down and 10 for Columbus, and they're going to have a short field to work with here after the kick. But I tell you what, Myron Mounds stepping into that kicking position here tonight, getting that ball, a lot of air under it, letting his gunners get down the field.
Yeah, I mean, he's given his kickoff team enough time to get down there and do what he can do. I'm very impressed by the variety that Mounds has in his back pocket and able to use the kicking game and use different kicks and directional kicks. So great job of Mounds of, bringing that out and using that here tonight.
Munoz, Dessois, and Cutts are your down linemen there for Wheeling. Stack formation here on the near side. Fortson going to be the motion man for Columbus. It's going to be a handoff to Marco Lee, but Brandon Munoz is going to gobble him up right away, as is Dio Dessois. Dessois making the initial hit there, and Cutts also coming in to finish off Marco Lee. Short gain on the play, and will bring up second down and 8. And Jeff, how about a nice shout out to former Wheeling Miner Tyree Williams? He's been tuning in here tonight. We want to give a huge shout out to Tyree and his family. Thank you for tuning in here. And we also got to catch up with former Wheeling Miner Joel Zellum, who made a visit up here to the booth. And it's always great to give him a high five and a hug. And we hope him and his family are doing well. Second down and 8 upcoming for Columbus after the run by Lee. Espinosa dropping back to pass, looking across the middle. Pass is complete to Jacob Smith, who has the touchdown tonight for Columbus, and that'll be a gain up to the 6-yard line, and will bring up another first down for Columbus.
I tell you what, Chris, I'm more impressed with the official dropping down there and missing the Espinosa pass.
Yeah, great move there by the official on that bullet pass by Espinosa. So now Columbus is really trying their best to kind of go into the middle of the field here. The outside of the field has pretty much been shut down for this Columbus offense, and now they're trying to expose the middle there of this Miners defense. Espinosa has Marco Lee off to his left. Here goes Credle in motion, gets it over to Lee. Lee driving forward, still on his feet, gets the push into the end zone. Touchdown Columbus, and that is Marco Lee and his strength right there. The fullback out of South Alabama getting into the end zone, and now the Lions have a 22-20 lead.
Great job and push there by the Lions offensive line, and just the determination there to get the ball into the end zone was Marco Lee.
Braden Wood in to attempt the extra point here. This will be out of the Michael Hill hold. Wood is 1 for 1 on the night. Here's the snap. It's a low one. Wood gets this kick up and will split the uprights and good. So Columbus with a quick strike with 12:09 to go here in the third quarter. They take a 23-20 lead. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network. And we're back here after the touchdown by Columbus. Marco Lee on the run there, and a great kick by Braden Wood as Daramola had to go all the way back into the end zone to get this one. But Daramola gets a burst of speed to the outside and throws a shoulder in, and a great return there by Rainius Daramola. And he'll get all the way out to the 23-yard line there on the return. Daramola just playing on a second, third gear here tonight.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, had that mishap on the other kickoff, throwing the ball backwards. I don't know what he was seeing there, unfortunately, but makes up for it there. Great starting field position for the Miners.
And in sports, sometimes you have to have that short memory, and Daramola recovers there with the return. All the way up to the 23. Miners' first drive here. The second half, they find themselves down 23-20 to Columbus. Caden Berger coming back in under center, or in at center rather. That's Daryl Clark coming in under center. He has Johnson, the sidecar, off to the right. Andre Thomas Cobb, the motion man for Wheeling. Here's the snap. Clark taking a drop back, looking across the middle. He has Coleman, who picks it up off of his feet, and it is complete. Cameron Bergeron, another arena veteran, making the stop there on Coleman. I think Daramola, though, was shaken up on the play, and he was. So once again, Jeff, Daramola had the return, and then AC Coleman gets the reception there to get things going, but it looked like Daramola and the defender, their legs got tied up there when they were making the tackle on Alex Coleman.
Yeah, and that tends to happen, offensive member, defensive member come together, things like that happen. But great job of Alex Coleman picking the ball up off the turf, right off his shoelaces there, and getting a fresh set of downs for his offense.
And now we're going to see, I guess you could say, the version of an Iron Man here in Isaiah Robinson. He's going to have to come back in at his normal wide receiver position. With the injury there to Daramola, he's being worked on over there on the sideline, so hopefully he's able to get back into the scene here real quick. Coming back in under center is Daryl Clark. Johnson, the sidecar, off to the right. Andre Thomas Cobb is going to get the handoff, but Thomas Cobb is going to run right into the waiting arms of the defender. That was big number 52, Tyler Clark. See what the call is here from the officials. I think it's going to be another illegal procedure. So if this play stands, it'll be second down and goal. So the tight end was covered up on that one. So they are going to replay the first down at the 12-yard line. After the illegal formation, the Miners quite a few times have been called for that this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's day one stuff, Chris. I mean, that's you got to see that. You got to realize where you're at on the field and line up correctly.
Declared tight end, Justin Nelson, the Wheeling University product. Deshaun Johnson off to the right here of Daryl Clark. Motion man is Alex Coleman. Clark back to pass, has to step up here. Clark able to beat one man and will be brought down roughly to the turf by DeAndre Brown. A great decision there by Daryl Clark. Didn't see anybody open in the end zone, but was able to get downfield. And now it looks like they're going to call in Khalil Trotman, as Clark was a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, great decision there by Clark to step up in the pocket, seen the lane there, and took off, found the crease, and then got the extra yardage. So second down and goal here for the Miners is Khalil, like you mentioned, Chris, Khalil Trotman coming into the game. He is that red zone threat. He can throw the football if he needs to and also run the football as well. So look for a little bit of smoke and mirrors down here, some little misdirection to try to get the defense off of their game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, they're going to have to hurry up here as the official is counting. There goes Robinson in motion, and there's that illegal procedure call again. So this one will go against the Miners. As I said, multiple players on the false start. But I think Daryl Clark was actually shaken up on that last play, and that's why Trotman's coming in.
He was grabbing his arm a little bit there, it looks like, so he'll be attended to there on the bench. So Khalil Trotman in the game right now at quarterback.
And he'll have Johnson, the sidecar, off to the right. So yeah, both Daramola and Clark both shaken up right now. Trotman, though, it's going to be a snap over his head. Khalil dropping back and a launch one toward the end zone, and thank goodness he threw it far because there was only Denarius Wardlow in the vicinity there for Columbus.
Yeah, good decision there by Trotman, realizing busted play, just throws it away. Live to fight another down, does Khalil Trotman.
This is third down and goal for Wheeling. You have A.J. Bowen over there on the sideline. Khalil Trotman, though, a very capable quarterback. Once again, played last season with the Colorado Spartans. Also played in this building with the Jersey Bearcats. 8:27 and counting here in the third quarter as Andre Thomas Cobb goes in motion. We're going to have another flag on the play and another false start upcoming against Wheeling. So it's Justin Nelson, the guilty party on that one. Daramola, he's getting taped up over there on the sideline. I have a feeling he's coming back into this game. Daryl Clark, he squeezed. There's Daramola coming back in. But yeah, Clark looks like he's having an issue with that left hand.
Could be a stinger in the arm. He's trying to get the compression back in it.
Clock strikes under 8 minutes here, and third down and goal all the way from the 14 now. So obvious 4-down territory here for the Miners, as they're going to send Andre Thomas Cobb in motion. Here goes Trotman, back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Trotman looking over the middle, and he had Alex Coleman. A lot of pressure in the face there of DeCoven Ware in the face there of Trotman, but a good job by Khalil to get it, and AC Coleman almost had an opportunity to make that catch.
Yeah, nice ball there by Trotman, throwing it away from the defenders and just trying to drop it in a bucket there to his receiver. Unfortunately, great coverage there by Columbus.
Now, Cam Bergeron, he was the one that had the interception. We didn't see him in the first game, or in the game here against Columbus. But I tell you what a difference he has made back in that jack position. So fourth down here. And Coach Mack's going to have to burn a timeout. With 7:04 remaining here in the third quarter, Columbus leading 23-20. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network.
He was giving us hard hands for going to the camera on injury timeout.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, well, that's what he said the first.
Yeah, but he was happy that we were.
And we have a 4th down upcoming here for the Miners, as we pretty much have Khalil Trotman back in the shotgun here. Rainius Daramola going to go in motion, and it's an extremely high snap, and Trotman tripped up on the play, and it is going to be a scoop and score for Mikel Yancey. And a big turn of events here as the snap went over the head of Trotman, and Yancey with the scoop and score.
Great job there by Yancey, realizing the ball was there. Trotman tried everything he could to get back to that football, and unfortunately cannot, and Columbus cashes in.
What a play there. The bad snap by Caden Berger over the head of Khalil Trotman, and then the scoop and score for Mikel Yancey. So what of a turn of events here. 6:18 to go here in the third quarter, and Columbus is now an extra point away from making this a 10-point game. Here's the snap. Hill's able to get it down, and it's going to be blocked here by the Miners, and Raymond Cutts is going to bring it back for the 2-point conversion. And I tell you what, big momentum swing there for the Miners. We do have a flag on the play. So more than likely, that's probably going to negate the 2-point conversion for Wheeling. Comes the call from the officials. So the blindside block rule comes back in to haunt them. So 5:52 here on a stop clock. And it still remains 29-20 in favor of Columbus, as the officials are coming together here for a conversation with 5:52 to go here in the third quarter. So it is a scoop and score there, Jeff, by Mikel Yancey, who has played a game. Like I said, he's played a game in this building before as a member of the Peach State Cats. Now a 2-time member of this Columbus Lions team. So the Lions faithful, after that scoop and score, getting behind their team here, has now 13 unanswered points for the Lions, as the Miners had a 20-16 lead going into the third quarter. But they strike quickly.
Coach Mont over there rallying the troops, telling them to settle down. Let's go. Let's take care of business. Still a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, that's what I always told, my players when I coached and everything. Guys, you can't take the points back off the board. The only thing you can do is put more points on the home side of the board. And that is exactly the message from Coach Mont. We'll see Coach Mont in a new position this year, defensive coordinator down at his alma mater at West Virginia Wesleyan. As we await the Braden Wood kickoff here. But I'll tell you what, even though it wasn't returned for the 2-point conversion, you don't get the points on the board, though, that still gives the Miners a little bit of momentum here.
Absolutely. I mean, you block the extra point, it takes a point off the board. It's only a 9-point lead instead of a 10-point lead now. So, like I said, points matter. They make a difference. So, I mean, it's a good job there by the defense. But unfortunately, you get the blindside block, which, me personally,
yeah, like I said, I complained about that enough in the Jersey game. So everybody knows how I feel about that rule. So Isaiah Robinson will be back deep. Now, Daramola does look like he is ready to come back out, but I think they're going to use Isaiah on this one.
Yeah, Coleman is the up back as well.
Yeah, just that way you're not risking any further injury to Daramola on a kick return.
Yeah, you got a safety net here with Isaiah Robinson and Alex Coleman back there. Both can return kicks, so a nice touch there on the special teams.
Oh, yeah, absolute speedsters back there, but Wood's going to kick it away from everybody into the stands of his Columbus Lions faithful.
Nice field position to start for the Miners, and they definitely need it here. Try to punch one in, see And there he is, Daryl Clark making his way back onto the field after the previous drive.
We're also going to have Deshaun Johnson is coming in at center as Berger's getting a chat over there on the bench. I think it's another thing, too. You have a rookie like Caden Berger just trying to settle him down there on the bench right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mental thing. You cannot get in your own head, and unfortunately, that looks like what's happening. But you put in a pro in
a veteran.
Absolutely, veteran move here from Wheeling.
Yeah, Johnson, he is a natural center, but can also play anywhere on the O-line and can play fullback. He comes back in here. Here's the snap back to Daryl Clark. Clark has some time, spins out of trouble, launches one just over the head of Andre Thomas Cobb. But man, what a play by Clark to get out of trouble and then unfortunately just overthrew the 6'4" Andre Thomas Cobb.
Yeah, what a great job to stay alive there. Does Daryl Clark, spins around, moves, makes a great read there, and unfortunately throws a little bit too high for Andre Thomas Cobb.
Yeah, but like I said, just a great job to get out of trouble. And a great move by Andre Thomas Cobb, too. He had ran his route. He turned around. He noticed that he was in trouble. Noticed that his quarterback was in trouble and then just came back to the football. That's exactly what you want to see.
Exactly. I mean, that's a good way to bail your quarterback out.
Tight trips formation over here on the near side as Daramola goes in motion. Clark, though, he is going to be hit and the ball's going to pop out. And the wheels are just coming off the bus right now for this Miners team as DeCoven Ware comes in with the strip. And then picking that one back up is McQuell Harvey. And now Columbus has all the momentum on their side right now. We also have an injured player down there on the field, so we're going to send it over here back to us here after that turnover, as we also have some conversations going on down there on the field. But Jeff, if you're Columbus right now, all the momentum is with the visitors right now.
Absolutely huge momentum swing for Columbus, really taking over this game here in the past couple minutes. And if you're Wheeling, that is a terrible thing to see.
Yeah, you had the scoop and score by Mikkel Yancey, and then you also have a down player there. I believe that is going to be Andy Plowden, so we'll try to get you an update on him. 4:28 to go here in the third quarter. Columbus has a 29-20 lead, and this is an ever important stop here for the Miners because Columbus could take a commanding lead here.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to step up if you're the Miners defense, get a stop here, get the ball back for your offense. And, Columbus looking to try to put some separation here between them and the Miners.
And that's one of the things, too. The goal ball could come back and play here in the fourth quarter if the Miners are still down. So, Plowden still being worked on down there on the field. But if you're Wheeling, you also got to respect the run game here of Marco Lee because he's the one that got the scoring started here in the second half.
Yeah, he's one of the best running backs in the league is Marco Lee. He's been putting up points all year long. And it looks like Plowden able to get up off his own power and walk to the bench. So great job for Plowden. But yeah, we mentioned this defense has to stand up here. If there's a stop they have to make, it's this one.
And he also gets a pat on the back there from Jacob Smith, one of the wide receivers out there for Columbus. Columbus offense comes back on the field as Jermon Fortson getting the Columbus crowd energized here as they have a first down and goal from the 10-yard line. Espinosa with Marco Lee, the sidecar off to his left. Here's the handoff to Marco Lee. And like I said, Wheeling respected the run the entire way there as Dio DeSois was able to get his hands on Marco Lee and bring down the former South Alabama Jaguar.
Great job there by Dio DeSois, reading the play, seeing the handoff happen, and taking action there and bringing the running back to the ground.
So Robert Garrett, Dio DeSois, Raymont Cutts. That is your down D lineman here for Wheeling. Brandon Munoz, the Mac. Javon Johnson, the Jack. JT Taylor, Myron Mounds, and Isaiah Robinson are your defensive backs for Wheeling. Credle is the far side receiver. Fortson will be your motion man down there for Columbus. Jacob Smith here on the near side. Espinosa dropping back to pass. Looking, goes back toward the middle and in and out of the hands of Jacob Smith. as Myron Mounds and Javon Johnson had the coverage. It was a bullet pass there by Espinosa, just a little bit too tall for Smith. He tried to go up and grab it, but just could not come down with it.
Yeah, Espinosa had to get that one out very quickly, and he did, and it creates the incompletion.
Third down and goal upcoming for Columbus. As Blaine Espinosa, the Thomas More product, coming back onto the field. I believe it's this year or it was last year. Thomas More just made the jump to Division II in college football. They will be an opponent this year of Wheeling University. That's the opening game for the Cardinals. Krettel, your motion man for Columbus. Flag on the play. Espinosa looking towards the end zone, and Fortson makes the catch in front of Robinson, but we did have a flag on the play. I think Krettel had a little bit too much of a step there. Nope, it's going to be an illegal defense. So this touchdown is going to stand. And we're also going to have a flag for throwing the football into the crowd. And they have now taken a 35-20 lead, has Columbus. Braden Wood, extra point pending here. So we'll get the unsportsmanlike penalty here. It said number 7. It was number 6. I was going to say, Jakari Thomas, the defensive back, was not on the field. It would be Fortson. Braden Wood in to attempt the extra point. This will be out of the Michael Hill hold. And Columbus has taken all the momentum here in this football game. We have a flag on the play as well. It'll be offsides against the Miners. And the penalty will be declined. And now Columbus has a 16-point lead, 36-20, 2:24 to go here in the third quarter. You're listening to the AAL Championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network. There's the reason why they're a dynasty. Back here, it has been all Columbus here in the third quarter. 19 unanswered points. Check that, 20 unanswered points to make this a 16-point football game here in the AAL Championship. Chris Thoburn alongside of Jeffrey Blumenauer. 2:24 to go here in the third quarter. And it's been a couple defensive plays here that have put Columbus in this position. This one is going to go off the scoreboard. We saw that one coming from the start. As Wood looks up there at the scoreboard, he's like, man, I thought that scoreboard was up there a little further. So the ball will be at midfield. Or actually, no, it will be at the 20, but then you also had the personal foul. So it's going to put the Miners in good field position. At the 20-yard line of Columbus. After the unsportsmanlike penalty. So here's the opportunity here for Wheeling to try to make this a one-possession game. They're going to have tight trips here to the near side. Isaiah Robinson back in the wide receiver position as he's going to go in motion for Wheeling. Clark back to pass. Looks over, hits Andre Thomas Cobb, and Andre Thomas Cobb's going to be knocked into the stands, but none of the worse for wear. As he stands up and signals first down. He was definitely not hurt at all by hopping over for that first down.
Absolutely. Went all out for that ball was Andre Thomas Cobb. Comes up with it. Great job. Great throw there by Daryl Clark as well.
And the young fan, unfortunately, down there, I think he kind of took a spike to the helmet. AJ Roque, the AAL commissioner, giving him a little fist bump saying, hey, are you all right, buddy? Future Miner down there, Jeff. Oh, man, yeah, he definitely took a hit there as he has somebody checking on him down there. But the fan seems to be okay. And we are back to action here as Daryl Clark coming back in under center. Here goes AC Coleman in motion. Clark wanted to hit Coleman right away, but he's essentially going to have to throw this one away as the fan makes a nice grab there in the crowd. And I think Clark took another massive hit there. And leading the charge on that one was Tyler Clark, the defensive lineman out of Georgia. Clark on that one. As trainer Kate Garman coming out to take a look at Daryl Clark. And more likely, it looks like it'll be back to Khalil Trotman time, as Clark has definitely taken a pounding back there in the backfield, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. That Columbus Lions defensive line has been all over him all night long, but that's been happening on both sides. I mean, both quarterbacks have had handprints all over them all night long from both defenses.
And I'm not sure if Daramola is still a little bit banged up, but it is Isaiah Robinson back into the game here. Stack formation, Coleman and Robinson. Andre Thomas Cobb, your motion man for Wheeling. Trotman almost stumbled, passes down. It's going to be knocked down by DeCoven Ware as he wants to do the push-ups down there for not getting that interception. And this is a third quarter that the Miners are definitely going to want to forget. But they still find themselves down by 16 as the clock winds down here in the third quarter. And Coach Mack, I think, is going to be content to let this quarter run out. So get those fours up here. We have 15 more minutes to go in the AAL championship game. Columbus, a 36-20 lead over Wheeling. You're listening to the AAL championship on MNTR Plus Sports Network.
Oh, it's
And both teams having fun here as Columbus, they're doing the wave here that they normally do in the fourth quarter. And they have a commanding lead 36-20 here. But Jeff, I mean, we've seen it in arena football, how quick things can change around here. The Miners have themselves down by 16, but this is an opportunity here for Wheeling to try to put more points here on the board.
absolutely. And the gold ball will be in play if they would like to use it. It is in the second and fourth quarter. So remember that, and you have to be down by 14 points. So that's something that the Miners could look at if they get possession of the ball back.
Yeah, because it has to be at the start of the drive, right? It can't be at the switch of the quarter.
Correct.
So the Miners are going to be faced with a third down as Coach Mack, I'm not sure what the conversation is over there in the corner. But once again, I mean, the Miners are going to have to hurry here. The clock's already started.
Yeah, but the league commissioner on the field over there in the corner, so who knows what's going on here.
Yeah, I think Coach Mack is going to go ahead and burn a timeout here. Unfortunately, they let 14 seconds go off the clock. But yeah, the AAL commissioner over there with AJ Roque. Yeah, Coach Mack is clearly upset about something. But once again, I think that's also the second time out that the Miners have burned in this half. But nonetheless, it will be a 3rd down and goal for Wheeling when we come back. You're going to have to shut the door down there in the corner. You got Munoz in there now, too, in that fullback position with the injury to Plowden. A lot of injuries down there on the field for Wheeling right now, including Daryl Clark. And it's going to be a false start upcoming against Wheeling. So the wheels just coming off the bus right now. But this is where you really have to dig deep if you're the Miners. That's what Coach Mack's saying. Coaches on the sideline are saying the same thing, guys. You just got to calm down. Just get your composure back. So this will be 3rd down and goal from the 13. But, Jeff, if you're the Miners, you have a little bit more room here to play with.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to settle down, realize what's in front of you. You still have 14 minutes left on the clock and some change, so you definitely got to take care of the football here. Starts with scoring on this play here, getting the ball back, and then just reevaluating and see what's going on and get another stop.
Munoz is your sidecar off to the right. Trotman dropping back, looking across the middle, and it's going to be intercepted again for the second time by Cam Bergeron. And now Trotman is shaken up on the play. And we have another flag. So that's 2 quarterbacks now that have been shaken up. So will be a touchback on the intercept, and Khalil Trotman got his leg wrapped up underneath him. I mean, Jeff, the only other thing is there is a 3rd quarterback on the roster in JT Taylor. He actually led the Miners to a victory last year over the Columbus Lions. But unfortunately, Khalil Trotman down with an injury right now. And more than likely, it may have to turn back to JT Taylor. But the defense will have to take the field for Wheeling after the interception there. And like I said, Bergeron just took an absolute, I mean, he has just been an absolute monster here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that we've talked about is the defensive lines are really just shredding both offensive lines. I mean, really giving the quarterbacks fits back there in the backfield.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. I mean, like I said, we didn't see Bergeron in the game here, and he's made his presence felt tonight in that jack position. I mean, he is the one that completely turned the momentum around here for Columbus with the big interception down there in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it has unfortunately been a landslide since then. I mean, the Miners really have tried to climb out of this hole and continue to do so. Really have to do some deep searching here to really come back in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know you have players that are banged up and injured right now. I mean, we don't know how serious the injuries are, but once again, this is where you really, really have to dig deep here because we don't know how serious some of these injuries are. You got to dig deep, and this is why you also have a deep roster.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the thing about Arena. You want to make sure you have guys on your roster that could play multiple positions for situations like that because you do not have a bunch of numbers, but you have guys that can play in positions when you need them.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I mean, you had guys like Andy Plowden that can play the MAC position, can play the running back position. Munoz can play all over the field. He can play the MAC, the fullback, and the linebacker position. And like I said, if both Daryl Clark and Khalil Trotman aren't able to go, more than likely you're going to see number 6, JT Taylor, in that quarterback position.
It's exactly what you're going to see. more than likely JT Taylor on the field right now for defense, so might have to go both ways for the rest of this one.
Cam Dixon in the MAC position. Another one, too. I mean, when he played here in 2019 with the West Virginia Rough Riders, he was primarily used as a running back. Also played defensive end and the MAC. And Cam is back in there in the MAC position. Javon Johnson in the jack. Robinson, Taylor, and Mounds are your defensive backs. Espinosa launching one downfield as he gets absolutely crunched down there. I believe that was Raymond Cutts, who he's also down on the play. It looks like he might have taken a foot right to the area you don't want to take a foot to if you're a dude. Able to shake that one off. He's not happy. I think he's going to have to come out of the game here. And in will enter Robert Garrett. So they're going to move Munoz over to the right. You're going to have Dessois in the middle and then Garrett on the outside. And then the same linebackers in Dixon and Johnson. JT Taylor, Myron Mounds, and Isaiah Robinson. Back deep for Wheeling. In the defensive back, second down upcoming for Columbus. As Cutts was applying all the pressure there on Blaine Espinosa. Fortson will be your motion man down there for Columbus. Marco Lee, the sidecar off to the left of Espinosa. Espinosa running some time off the clock here. Fortson will be your motion man on a hard count there, and it looks like it's going to be an offsides against Wheeling with 13:31 to go here in the fourth quarter. So it's actually going to go against Columbus. Justin Yomes, offensive lineman out of Columbus State, the guilty party there. That's going to bring it back to the 5-yard line. For Columbus. Brings up second down and 15, but that clock continues to run. Like I said, I believe the Miners do only have the one timeout, Jeff.
Yeah, they've used both of them, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. So, yeah, only sit with one timeout.
Cutts is back in the game there at defensive end. So you have Munoz and Cutts on the outside, Dessois in the middle. Cam Dixon coming in that jack position. Here's the pass from Espinosa to Fortson, and he is going to be gang tackled there on the outside. Leading the charge, Isaiah Robinson and Munoz able to get out there to the outside and make the stop on Fortson. Brings up third down and long now for the Lions. So Munoz doing a great job to get out there on Fortson. Three defensive backs here, JT Taylor, Isaiah Robinson, and Myron Mounds. Clock strikes at 12:20 and counting, and is now the enemy of the Miners as they trail 36-20. Man going in motion is Krettel. Espinosa, three-step drop. He wants to look down the field to Fortson, and this one is going to be perfectly covered by Isaiah Robinson, and it'll bring up fourth down and 11 for Columbus, and they're going to keep Espinosa out on the field here, and this could be a huge stop if you're Wheeling.
Yeah, and it even further push for Columbus to try to tack on some more points and try to put this one away.
Espinosa was looking across the middle there to Fortson. Was unable to hit him. As he comes back in under center with 11:22 and counting. Krettel and Fortson are stationary. Jesse Riverio will be the motion man for Columbus. Espinosa dropping back to pass. Looking downfield. He has Krettel, who makes an incredible catch inside the 5. And that is a dagger if you're Columbus. What a pass there by Espinosa to hit Krettel in stride. Robinson with the tackle, but Krettel just an unreal play there and an unreal catch.
Espinosa had all the time in the world on that one, slid out to the outside of the pocket and just launched it downfield to Krettel and sets up a 1st and goal for the Lions.
This will be a 1st down and goal from the 3 for Columbus. Ball once again on that 3-yard line. Miners really going to have to dig deep here to try to make a stop. They're going to be using an O lineman as a wide receiver here on the near side. That's McQuell Harvey. Also plays defensive line. Here's the pitch out to Marco Lee. The Miners were able to snuff that one out right away. They knew the run was coming with Harvey into the game there. They're going to drop him for a loss. Back to the 6.
Cuts and Cuts and Munoz all over that one.
The Cuts and Munoz there on the tackle. Riverio's going to come back into the game. 9:35 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Columbus taking all the time that they can right now. They're going to go ahead and burn a timeout. More than likely, I don't think they're going to be able to get this one off. Well, I don't know. Maybe Espinosa is going to be able to rush. So 2nd down and goal upcoming here as Fortson will be your motion man for Columbus. Espinosa back to pass, has plenty of time, launches one towards the end zone, and Jermon Fortson is going to make the circus catch, and the former Florida State Seminole comes back with a big reception, and this is now a 22-point game, and Columbus has taken complete domination here of the second half.
What a throw there by Espinosa, and takes the hit, finds Fortson in the corner of the end zone. Great concentration by Fortson to bring it down in the end zone after the huge hit up against the boards.
Yeah, he knew that wall was there the whole time, and a great job by Espinosa to put it up there where only his wide receiver was going to get the catch. Braden Wood in to attempt the extra point. This will be out of the Michael Hill hold. Kick is up. It'll split the uprights and good. Now Columbus, an absolute commanding lead, 43-20. But Jeff, you have to expect, though, that the gold ball is going to come into play here. 8:12 to go here in the 4th quarter in the AAL Championship. You're listening to MNTR Plus Sports Network. Oh, yeah. Braden Wood has this one teed up, and we are ready to go here as Columbus has taken full command of this championship game. They're leading 43-20. And here comes the kick from Braden Wood. Rainius Daramola back deep. Going to get the return here, and he is going to be upended at the 10-yard line. So everything just going in the way here of the Columbus Lions.
Gold ball going to be in play for the Miners.
Yeah, so there is the gold ball coming back in. The Miners can try to make this a 2-possession game. Trying to see Daryl Clark is back in at quarterback, Jeff.
Yeah, so just to clarify, the rules of the gold ball can only be played in the second and fourth quarter. The team that activates the gold ball has to declare at the start of the drive that they're using the gold ball and has to be trailing by 14 or more points.
So Munoz is going to be the sidecar off to the right of Daryl Clark as Alex Coleman goes in motion. Clark back to pass, looking across the middle. He has Andre Thomas Cobb, who makes the reception and will get the first down up over midfield to the 24. And a great first pass there by Daryl Clark and a great catch by Andre Thomas Cobb. 7:29 and counting here in this one. Daramola also back into the game. So your receiving core, Andre Thomas Cobb, Rainius Daramola, and Alex Coleman, who all will go out in the trips formation over to the far side. Munoz, the sidecar off to the right here of Daryl Clark. Coleman, the motion man. Here comes Clark, dropping back, looking across the middle, has Andre Thomas Cobb again, and he will be brought down by Daenerys Wardlow, but not after picking up another Miners first down. But don't forget, though, the Miners cannot run this one in. It does have to be a passing play, and they have first down and goal from the 5.
Cobb coming to life here in the waking moments of this one. Miners really need to punch this in for the gold ball and try to get some double the points here to try to get back into contention for this championship.
What a catch there by Andre Thomas Cobb. Has 4 catches here on the night. Munoz again, the sidecar off to the right. Here goes AC Coleman in motion for Wheeling. Clark having to spin out of trouble here, but he is going to be brought down on the play by DeAndre Brown. The Southern Miss product makes the big stop there on Clark. The only benefit is it does give the receivers a little bit more room to be able to run a complete route out there.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit more space to work with there and opens up the playbook a little bit more for the Miners.
So Johnson is back in at center. Declared tight end is Shamil Roberts. Munoz is the sidecar off to the right here of Daryl Clark. Your motion man is Alex Coleman. We have a flag on the play and a false start against Wheeling. So the penalties are just coming back to bite them in the rear end right now. But like I said, the only good thing is you get a little bit more room since you have to pass the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we keep talking about. It opens up the playbook a little bit because the closer you get to the goal line, it shortens it up, and you cannot run in the gold ball to get the points. You have to throw it for a passing touchdown in order to cash in on the double the points.
So Johnson coming back in under center with Daryl Clark. Clock striking at 5:15 and counting. Clark back to pass, looking towards the end zone. Alex Coleman makes the catch, and the gold ball will now make this a 43-32 lead for Columbus. So the gold ball comes in huge here for Wheeling. And it'll be a 2-point conversion try here for the Miners. So 4:34 and counting here in this one. It's still a 2-possession game. But the mountain is a little smaller for them to climb now for Wheeling. What a great pass there by Daryl Clark to hit AC Coleman. Andre Thomas Cobb, your motion man for Wheeling. He's going to fake the pitch out. Clark looking. Clark looking towards the end zone. It's going to be knocked down there by Droel Green. I love the play call there, but 3:56 to go here in this one. Now it's a 43-32 lead for Columbus. You're listening to the AAL Championship game on MNTR Plus Sports Network. Myron Mounds here with the kickoff. And it'll be brought back here by Jacob Smith, who's going to be wrapped up immediately. Raymond Cutts was the one leading the charge there for Wheeling. So the Miners, the clock once again their enemy. 3:51 to go here on a stop clock. So Cutts still not 100% down there, but he's going to have to dig deep on this one. Ball is on the 19-yard line. Dessois, Garrett, and Cutts are your down linemen. Munoz will be in the MAC position. Javon Johnson in the jack. JT Taylor, Myron Mounds will be your defensive backs for Wheeling. Also along with Isaiah Robinson. More likely they have Michael Harvey out there, which it could just be a disguise here. As Espinosa, though, he is going to hand it off to Marco Lee. Lee is going to gain a few yards there, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for Columbus. That only one timeout remaining here for the Miners could come back and bite them.
Yeah, they don't have a bunch to stop the clock, and we've talked about plenty of times of the ball has to be moved forward in order for the clock not to stop. So great job of Columbus to continue to just ride the momentum. Their fans have been excellent here tonight and just continue to try to put a wrap on this championship game.
Yeah, it's been an absolute amazing atmosphere here. All the fans in attendance between the Miners and the Lions. The game on the field just been back and forth. It was just that third quarter was the tale of this one so far. They're going to pitch it out to Marco Lee to the outside, and he's going to be hit into the boards at the 24-yard line. 2:25 and counting. It'll bring up about a 3rd down and 6 here for the Lions as they're really trying to hammer it down here with Marco Lee.
Yeah, Marco Lee, like we've mentioned, been a great bruising runner all year long. Has a plethora of touchdowns to his resume and just wants to continue to ice this game here for the Lions.
So clock is going to strike under 2 minutes. And if you're Wheeling, you still have that 1 minute warning too. So you could almost use it like a second timeout. Columbus might have to burn one here too, as the official has started counting back there. Espinosa comes back in under center. There's the delay of game call from the official. So this will bring up about a 3rd down and 11 for Columbus. So the Miners get a gift there on the delay of game call. This will move it back to the 19. That's actually the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Credle will be the motion man over there for Columbus. Fortson will be the stationary wide receiver. And then you also have Maquel Harvey over on the far side. Espinosa going to fake the pass. He's going to get it over to Fortson, who's able to escape a tackle. And Fortson will be brought down at the 20-yard line. And that'll be a 1st down for Columbus, as Munoz tried to fly in there and get Fortson in the backfield. But the former Florida State Seminole and Arena veteran does an absolute great job on getting that 1st down.